Nnamdi Kanu pledges 1 million naira for any Nigerian law student who can find judicial precedent on stay of execution of accused already discharged and acquitted. And now to the news in full. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB), Nnamdi Kanu, has pledged to pay the sum of 1 million naira to any law student in Nigeria who can find and prove judicial precedents where a Nigerian judge granted stay of execution in a criminal proceedings where the suspect or defendant has been acquitted and discharged. This country is just well, because if it's not in a lawless country that we are staying in, somebody has been discharged and acquitted, but yet you are still keeping him in DSS custody. I really do not know if the person will be able to really find out. Hopefully the law students will be able to find something out, because it is really appalling, and it really just shows that we're in a lawless country. For Nnamdi Kanu to still be in prison after he has been discharged and acquitted, it's something. I don't understand. Kanu, who has been held in the custody of the Department of State Services (DSS) since June 2021 over an alleged terrorism charge filed against him by the Nigerian government, made the pledge on Thursday through his legal team, led by his special counsel barrister Aloy Ejimako. The IPOB leader made the pledge following a stay of execution granted to Nigerian government in October 2022 by Justice Haruna Samani of the Appeal Court on a judgment which was also delivered by Appeal Court judges, which set Kanu free and acquitted him of the charges of terrorism and treasonable felony against him. A three-man panel of justices of Appeal Court had held that extraordinary rendition of Kanu by the Nigerian government without adherence to due process of the law was a gross violation of all international conventions, treaties, protocols, and guidelines that Nigeria is a signatory to, as well as a breach of the appellant's fundamental human rights. True, it is a breach for his fundamental human rights, and yet they are not releasing him. I don't understand why. The appellate court further held that the government failed to refute the allegations that the IPOB leader was in Kenya and that he was abducted and brought back to the country without any extradition processes. Oh wow. On that ground, the appellate court held that the government was ominously silent on the issue. They know what they are doing, which it described as very pivotal in determining whether the trial court will still have the jurisdiction to continue with the criminal proceeding before it. The appellate court judges held that the Nigerian government's action tainted the entire proceeding it initiated against Kanu and amounted to an abuse of criminal prosecution in general. Three-man judge therefore held thus: the court will never shy away from calling the executive to order when it tilts toward executive recklessness. And have you called them to order? Have you? Because this is definitely recklessness. It is definitely breach of human rights. That is why these people complain too much. This man has been discharged and acquitted, and yet he's still in DSS custody, doing what? Nothing. Since 2021, this is 2025. People should release the man and let him go. It accused the government of engaging in serious abuse of power. Yes, very, very serious abuse of power. But the Nigerian government, in a notice of appeal filed before the Supreme Court, sought a stay of execution on the ruling on the Court of Appeal ruling. During a press conference held in Abuja on Thursday, Kanu's legal team noted that the IPOB leader's continued detention at the DSS custody is illegal. I agree, very, very illegal, and not predicated on any court order. Kanu was remanded in custody on the allegation that he jumped bail, but the legal team said by the decision of the Court of Appeal, all the charges for which Onyedu is being tried were quashed for want of jurisdiction and in violation of the extradition acts of both Kenya and Nigeria. Justice Samani of the Court of Appeal, Abuja Division, unlawfully granted an order staying the release of Nnamdi Kanu. This order was illegally granted, and never in the history of any country's jurisprudence had an acquitted person been denied his release from detention by way of stay of execution. It is only in Nigeria that is happening. Everything can happen in Nigeria alone. Confirming Kanu's 1 million naira pledge, the legal team says Nnamdi Kanu pledges to give any law student in Nigerian university the sum of 1 million naira if such students find any precedent on stay of execution in criminal proceedings where an acquitted person is by such order restrained from enjoying his freedom. Why can't his lawyer to find out such a thing? Why are they giving the tax to law students? Those ones are probably just starting their life. If they go and do anything now and bring it, hope they will not be told the career of that person and say, hey, who sent you message? And probably his lawyers should do that and find out what he's trying to find out, rather than telling law students to find it out, and that one will now enter inside problem again. I really hope so. I really hope not. It is an illegality that would haunt Nigeria for as long as life endures. But then it was granted because Nnamdi Kanu is of Igbo descendants and must suffer, notwithstanding what the law says. See? This is where these people are agitating for freedom in the first place. This bias, this hatred for them, because what do we call it? Is it not hatred? Are you keeping him in custody if he has been discharged and acquitted? Really? On the part of the Supreme Court, Oyendu did not jump bail but ran away from the treacherous act of Operation Python Dance to save his life and physical well-being. The legal team recalled that at pages 10, 11, and 11 of the Supreme Court findings and decision, it was held the respondent was on bail and therefore in the custody of the law when his home was illegally invaded by heavily armed military officers of the appellant, causing him to flee from his home and country to secure his life. Yes, people wanted to kill him and he ran away. In the face of such an attack, it was reasonable for him to flee. Yes, now, to secure his life and physical well-being. This is what any normal and reasonable human being would do in that circumstances to preserve his life and physical well-being. Kanu's legal team further recalled that the High Court of Enugu State in suit number E/20/2023, Nnamdi Kanu vs. Federal Republic of Nigeria and 4 ORS, in a ruling delivered on October 26, 2023 by Justice A. O. Onovo, declared that the practical application of the Terrorism Prevention Act and the executive or administrative action of the respondent, which directly led to the proscription of IPOB and its listing as a terrorist group, said IPOB being comprised of citizens of Nigeria of Igbo and Eastern Nigeria ethnic group professing the political opinion of self-determination, and the consequential arrest, detention and prosecution of the applicant as member leader of said IPOB is illegal, unlawful, unconstitutional and amount to infringement of the applicant's fundamental rights. Yes, it is all of that. It is very unlawful. It is unconstitutional. It is an infringement to his rights. What has he done that people don't want to release him since all these days? Please, they should. And I hope that a law student can find out exactly what he's looking for. But I hope that they keep the person anonymous. Because Nigeria, na wahala. My listeners, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.